we were in high school when the iPhone came out, and like everyone was starting to have like MacBooks and stuff, and none of us got it. Like literally, not one of my friend, besides one person, but most people didn't have an iPhone,
Yeah.
and we resisted it for like years, and then now, every single one of us has it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, why did we waste so much time, just like resisting for like
Yeah.
years, like the natural pull, essentially,
Yeah.
when like I could have just embraced it and like learned how to use it
Mm-hmm.
to your however you need. I think like people say that they could see some sort of resistance happening where they're like, we're dropping out, we're not going to use like the new tech, or like people think like if tech got to the next level,
Yeah.
where we're like, we're putting it in our brains, or like we are like living like as long as we want, that people would resist it. But I'm just not convinced, because every other technological advancement was just fully embraced, like,
Yeah.
because people prioritize like things that make their life easier.
Yeah. I mean, things right now, it doesn't feel like it makes a lot of things. I mean, yeah, maybe the iPhone makes my life easier in some ways, but there is this popularity in designing things where now you have to download an app or you have to do this, and it feels like it makes things more complicated. And then sometimes when we even think about the past, if I think about, oh, I want to go back to the 90s because life was so much more simpler,
Yeah.
things made a lot more sense, and now it feels like things are a lot more confusing, even if I have a GPS on my phone and that's
Yeah.
convenient. But I also don't really know how to read a map, and I have and I feel like my memory is worse, and I wish I had more situational awareness, and that doesn't necessarily feel good that I outsourced a lot of my thinking
Yeah.
to the phone.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I'm going with it. Oh, and just to bring it back to, the headsets or VR and those things not really being embraced,
Mm-hmm.
even though that would be seeming to be like
Yeah.
the next step of digital human fusion.
Yeah. Well, specifically VR is like, it's just not convenient to
Mm-hmm.
use, and it's like expensive, and there's not any real use cases for it right now.
Yeah.
I think if there was a time where it was like, it was way smaller, cheaper, and it was like the de facto thing you use for Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, that's what people would use, because it's just like more realistic. Like if they actually
Yeah.
perfected like a Star Wars-esque, like you're sitting in the same room.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Oh.
it feels like that there's something about the way that a lot of this modern stuff, I don't know if it's just the fact that it's unnatural for us to interact with the world this way, and we're just not used to it because we have these physical bodies, and humans have lived pretty, in a similar way until recently.
mm-hmm.
And we just like, our mental health, our brains, our memories, like we're being really affected by this stuff, and it's not always in a very good way.
Yeah.
And is there some version of really advanced technology that doesn't make us dumber or mentally ill or, lethargic?
I mean, hopefully that it doesn't make us more lethargic or depressed. I think there is like a probable like theory you could put that we may just keep relying on it, and like without it we would be like much dumber.
Yeah.
But there would never be a time where we didn't have it.
Mm.
Like I used to always think there was going to be a time where everything like collapsed and we just wouldn't have like electricity, but I just like don't believe that anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're ever going to not have like the internet, unless something like, unless there was like a full on like nuclear fallout or like alien kind of thing.
Solar flares have like researched that can mess with things.
Yeah, but they would fix it. The world, if the internet went down, the world would like riot. or like fall apart. Like
Yeah,
like,
I know.
yeah,
I mean, I'm writing a story about that, of trying to imagine what would happen because even
Yeah.
all our money is
it's tied to it.
digital,
Yeah.
and like everyone would just have suddenly no money.
Yeah.
And how would it work? Yeah, anyways.
Yeah. So you could say like we're already like cyborgs.
Yeah,
Like we literally just like carry a computer. Like it's like us at this point. I mean,
it's true.
do you
Yeah.
ever leave the house like without a phone?
Occasionally.
Is it like an intentional thing?
Yeah, sometimes, Simon got a flip phone like a year ago, and I kind of want to get one.
Yeah.
Because I just I feel better, like, and I think there is even some part of me that feels embarrassed that why am I even afraid to just go for a walk without some communication device? Like, I feel
Yeah.
that scared of the outdoors, whereas nobody even had that option
Yeah.
for most of human history. And,
Yeah.
but I mean, I agree with you. It is like we are like cyborgs, and I find that disturbing, but you don't, maybe I want to understand that better. Why is it just that you love this stuff, or you just think that there's not really like a point in resisting it, like you said?
Well, I mean, that was always sort of like, I think we've always been moving this way.
Yeah.
Like, everything that we've done is just to, like, essentially make things easier.
Yeah.
I mean, we could survive when we were, like, just hunting kind of thing, but eventually we, like, came up with stuff to make it more efficient. And then, like,
Yeah.
like, however many years later, we're, like, have these, like, little special magic tools.
But some part of me feels that I go back and forth, because sometimes I feel like this is inevitable, but then I sometimes feel like that story is too simple to make sense. And I remember reading about this device that they discovered from ancient Greek. Have you heard of this? Like this ancient Greek computer, this mechanical device that could compute. It was like,
it's like an abacus.
I forget what it's. I'm not sure if that's the term for it.
Okay, maybe not.
Maybe it was like, I think it was like a mathematical sort of analog computer that could do advanced math and also track the stars. And just seeing that, it made me think about, and then that civilization fell, and there's a lot of people now who think that this civilization is going to collapse eventually, and then I don't know if we'll have to start over, if like the ancient Greeks and Romans had to start over and they had advanced, for back then, not advanced as us, but advanced technology, and then
it got lost, essentially. Yeah. I don't know how to like defend it really. I just think I know it is a really simplistic way to view it, like just being like fire engine or like wheel engine phone. But I just feel like it was always sort of the goal.